What's going on, guys? It's Monday, so that means we're going to talk about 3 things that we are looking at in the stock market this upcoming week. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. I hope you guys had a great weekend, and some interesting things happened over the weekend that could absolutely affect the markets. As always, hope you guys don't mind hitting that thumbs up button. That really helps out the channel. It really helps the channel grow massively, and it really satisfies the YouTube algorithm we are working with here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for more stock analysis videos, stock news videos, personal finance, and everything in between. So if you haven't heard, and if you really haven't heard, you probably are living under a rock right now. We have a new president, and his name is Joe Biden. Now, as always, we aren't going to get into any sort of political views here or anything in this video. This is strictly going to be things that could affect the markets and stocks in general. Mainly because whether Trump or Biden were to win the election, there were going to be stocks that were affected negatively and stocks that were affected positively. One industry that's going to be helped out because Biden won the election is the flower industry. We're going to refer to it as the flower industry so we don't get shadow banned here, all right? The flower, okay? So I guess from what I've been able to find, Biden's a little indecisive in this industry from what I've seen. He doesn't necessarily think people should be thrown in jail for the flower, but he also doesn't think people should be running around left and right with the flower being legal per se. He said time and time again that people really shouldn't serve time for this low-level drug use, but instead should be sent to some sort of treatment. So after hearing that, you guys might be thinking, well, why do people think that the flower is going to be legalized now that Biden is in office? Well, first of all, several states actually legalized the flower recently over the last week, including Arizona, Montana, New Jersey, and South Dakota. And apparently the voting on this subject was not even close in those states. Like, it passed by a landslide. Secondly, our new vice president, our first female vice president, Kamala Harris, plays a huge role in this sector. She's actually in full support of the legalization of the flower. Times have changed. Flower should not be a crime. Right now in this country, people are being arrested, being prosecuted, and end up spending time in jail or prison because of their use of a drug that otherwise should be considered legal, Kamala Harris said in 2018. Making flower legal at the federal level is the smart thing to do. It's the right thing to do. I know this as a former prosecutor, and I know it as a senator. When faced with claims that she opposes legalization, she replied, "That is not true. Half of my family is from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?" And added that she personally smoked flower and inhaled, she insists, while listening to Snoop Dogg. Now, obviously, by legalizing this, it's just going to be good for the economy because they're going to be able to tax it, so they're going to raise more money through that, and it's just going to create more jobs, which Biden really wants to do. So although some people might think this is cheating because obviously the flower is not going to be federally legalized overnight, it could affect stocks in the short term because of the optimism of it. Some of the ones I'm watching personally are the ETMFG ETF, Tilray, and Planet. And actually, if you guys want to know a little bit more about Planet, I did make a video on it quite a while back. I'll link that down below in the description if you want to check that out. The second thing that could affect the markets this week is if our current president, President Donald Trump, actually does refuse to leave office. Even as the Keystone State put the Democratic challenger over the 270 threshold, the incumbent signaled he would continue his legal fight, especially with other state ballots still not fully certified, yet leaning toward Biden. After a chaotic election night market action that saw predictive markets swing dramatically toward Trump, then back to Biden by early Wednesday, betting data from Smarkets suggests there's now a 64% chance that Trump won't concede if he loses the election. Moreover, the betting site's investors believe there may not be a declared winner for several days. So obviously the second part of that article was a little bit older. Now obviously there's a lot of speculation around whether he's actually going to put up a fight, actually take legal action and bring it to the Supreme Court, but in theory I would be very surprised if any of this happens. However, if it does happen and he does actually take legal action and he does bring it to the Supreme Court, I wouldn't be surprised to see a slight dip in the markets or a little bit of choppiness, mainly because the markets, as we know, don't like indecisiveness. But like I just said, I really find it hard to believe President Trump is going to take some sort of legal action and bring it to the Supreme Court. But as always, we should be prepared for a dip or some sort of negative reaction if it does happen. And the last thing we're going to talk about in this video that could very well happen in the stock market this week, and this might be a little bit of cheating as well, is a dip in the market for some great buying opportunities. As I mentioned in last week's stock market video, generally, after an election, the market usually dips to some degree. And in this situation, we're going to strictly focus on the incumbent party losing data because the incumbent party obviously did lose. If you look at the day after the incumbent party loses, the market generally goes down. And if you look at the week after the incumbent party loses, the market generally does the same thing before finishing more towards the flat margin the rest of the way. Especially because we've seen such a big rally the past several trading days, primarily from tech stocks, I would not be surprised at all to see some sort of dip in the markets. Now keep in mind, stocks only go up. I cannot even tell you how many times over the last 6 months I expect a decline, some sort of dip, a correction in the market, and what happens? They just keep going up and up and up. I mean, I am completely ready. I have my cursor hovering over the buying option and stocks just keep going up. This just goes to show time in the market beats timing the market. Make sure you're taking some sort of money right off the top of your check like a tax. You're not even looking at it and you're investing it in the market to some degree. Anyway, the rally we did see around election day was one of the best stock markets market rally, election day periods we saw in a very long time. So hopefully for all you long-term investors out there, we see some sort of dip in the market this week, next week, and for the coming months in the rest of 2020. So be prepared for that. Be prepared and have cash on the sideline. But at the same time, remember, stocks only go up forever and ever and ever. As I've said for the last 6 months, I have cash ready, I have cash on the sideline, I am ready to deploy it in the market at any buying opportunity. I'm continuing to research stocks and finding those deals in the market, and I hope you guys are doing the same. But as always, make sure you're doing your own research and your own DD, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a random guy talking to a camera in my living room as I do in all these videos. And in saying that, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe as always. I know this video was a little bit shorter, but these videos generally are a little bit shorter because we're just going over 3 main bullet points about what to watch in the market this week. Let me know down in the comments what you're watching in the stock market this week, and I will see you guys in the next video.